Guys, today is a major, major, major day in history right now. The Oscars canceled forever. The Emmys canceled forever. The Grammys canceled forever. The Tony, I don't know what the other ones are. All canceled forever. You know why? Because the greatest piece of art mankind will ever create is here. Sandwich fights back. Exclamation point. That's how you know it's real. How do I begin to explain such a phenomenal video? There's so much we're gonna have to cover here. There's so much ground we have to cover, but let's just start with the setting. Let's just start with what we're surrounded with here. There's so much to see. Now, we look at the background. This is Voidatron, and he's in his kitchen. He's in his kitchen. Let's start with Void himself, front and center. Nice looking beard, good beard. Hair looking good, parted to the side. I like that. We all love that. Eyebrows, I don't know, they look good too. I don't really have anything to say about the eyebrows. I want to focus on his eyes. Look into his eyes. Look deep into his eyes, and I want you to tell me what you see. What I see is a man who has lost everything. I think his eyes are doing a lot of visual storytelling here. I think, we see someone who is distraught, who is scared, who is afraid, who is angry, who's enraged at the world. And you see it all in the eyes. It's like, when you look at Mr. Beast and he has that big dumbass fucking smile, but like you can tell he's not happy because of the eyes. It's all in the eyes. You can smile. Void could be smiling right now in this, but it's all about the eyes. You look in the eyes and you see death. You see the end. Blue, sleeveless, dark blue, grayish blue, sleeveless shirt. What could this mean? What does this color mean? Now, if we go into color theory, give off a sense of separation and dreariness. This dark bluish gray gives off a feeling of separation and dreariness. That's what I know just from my own, knowledge. Look at the arm placement. Everything about the posture here is just very, upright, very determined, very defined. And we look at the eyes again. This man is at business. He sat up, hands on the table. He's ready to eat this fucking sandwich. But, in the eyes, you can tell he isn't all there. Like he's physically, he's ready and he's doing what he will always do and has always done. But you look at the eyes and death, the end. You see the void, devoid of emotion. God, this fucking sucks. One hand is tightly clenched while the other is open. I believe Void is right-handed, so you look at the right hand clenched, ready for action, he's preparing to grab the fuck out of this sandwich. Left hand open, calm, more spiritually free. His left hand, it's ready for any possibility, but the right hand has a duty, has a mission. It is ready to grasp the sandwich and put it in his fucking mouth. Now, before we actually start the video, before we get into the real meat of the video, let's look at the background. Let's look at the background here. We look to the. I'll use my mouse here as a pointer. We look right here and we see a light, a little lamp of sorts, a little night light put into the wall socket there. Open socket means there's possibility for change, but we do still have a dominant figure here in the plug-in lantern. You look and there's a Walmart bag, kind of a Schrodinger's cat situation where we don't know what could possibly be in there until we open it and we see inside, so we'll never know unless Void shows us what's in this bag. Comment below if you want to see what's in the bag because I want to see what's in the bag. Don't know what that could be. It looks like there might be you see there's cords or something coming out of it. It might be like a robot's head, like a big robot's head, but the neck got ripped off so the cords are flying out of the neck. That's probably the most likely answer. Okay, well, next up there seems to be is that a bird? I think it's a bird. I think it's the head of a bird, and then that's the full bird on a branch. So birds in media typically represent freedom and free will and the ability to be free. I think this greatly juxtaposes Voidatron's whole demeanor in this video, because if you look at him, this does not look like a free man. The hand is clenched, forceful grip on the sandwich inbound, and look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. This man is not free. This man is lost. This man is stuck. Look again. I don't know what this is. Is that like... I think it's some kind of bag, I assume. Maybe like a lunchbox. Probably has a robot head in it with wires coming out. This is like a little tablet of some kind. Maybe like it's a reminder thing, or like a... it's just maybe shows you the weather or something in the morning. Maybe it plays music for the morning, when you're getting ready to go. All that jazz. Okay, now we get to a big boy right here. We get to the fridge. Now, what I find fascinating about this fridge is that you can get water and ice from the fridge, and it looks like we have a multi-layered push bar here. Look, there's like one part of it, and then there's another part. I wonder, does this lower one perhaps dispense water while the higher one dispenses ice, perhaps? And then we see a panel here, but there's not quite enough detail to see any of the actual buttons. But despite that, we can assume there are hopefully settings for like water and ice, and maybe even like different types of ice for really getting crazy. There could be like crushed ice or cubes, or like what are they called when it's not a cube but it's like that other shape, like shards of ice. And it's not shards, but you know what I'm talking about. And now we see if we look closely, this is a 2-doored fridge. I'm assuming this side would be the freezer, considering the water coming out, the water and ice dispenser. But this side is probably for regular groceries, but I'm assuming we can see closely if we look down here that it actually leads to another section down here. This might also be a freezer. It could very well be that everything up top is actually regular refrigeration while the bottom area is a freezer. That's how a lot of refrigerators work. But maybe the water still comes out of the top nonetheless, but who knows, really? It's hard to say. Now, we get up. I want to talk about, there's a very peculiar little almost C-shape, like half of an O shape up here of a wire. What could this mean? Is this a little worm who's sitting there? Is this a handle to the fridge so you can pick it up and take it with you? Is this a portable fridge of some kind? Is this future technology? We look to the side now, and we see a microwave, and this looks like a pretty state-of-the-art microwave. Voidatron's living it up off all that YouTube money, so he's got all the newest stuff. We see buttons. There are buttons present. I'm assuming these are numbers to indicate the time in which the microwave will heat the food. That's just standard microwaves, though. That I'm sort of a microwave professional, so I kind of know these things. Now, here's the question. You could put a sandwich in the microwave. Could Void have put, even better thought, you could put a sandwich in the refrigerator right here. You could put it in to preserve it, and then you could put it in the microwave to reheat it. Have we thought about this? I don't think we've thought about this. Now, the sandwich could go in for like 15 seconds. I know a lot of microwaves have presets, so you can do like a 30-second preset, or if you hit one, it just instantly does like a minute. Or better yet, there's like sometimes settings for different foods. Like if you're reheating pizza, there's like a pizza button, and there's like a popcorn button. So what if this is like a popcorn setting sandwich? That could be really interesting. Now as we move further into the desk, we see this looks to be a coffee machine, I believe. Looks standard. Could be a Keurig. Could be, I don't know any other coffee brands, but it's probably a Keurig because I said so. A lot of people love coffee. Coffee's a big deal. The series Twin Peaks, Dale Cooper constantly is drinking coffee and talking about coffee and how much he loves black coffee. Wonder what type of coffee Voidatron drinks. Is it black? Is it? Does he like some cream? Does he like some sugar? Does he like milk? Does he like water? What does he like? What kind of coffee guy is this? I think these are all really important questions to understand the core video, right? But I digress for now. We look over here. This looks to be a toaster, I believe. Looks like you can hold up to 4 pieces of bread in this thing. That's very impressive. Like I said, Voidatron has a lot of money. He's a rich guy. I'll throw his Cash App up on screen in case you want to request any money from Voidatron. He can definitely spare it, so maybe ask for like $50. But you look here, up to 4 pieces of toast. Now, I wonder, we can see that, I'm sure the handles that push the bread down are right around here, it looks like. But we can't see if there are any knobs to control the heat. I'd assume, since that's standard in most toasters, that there would be. But it's hard to say because of the quality, Maybe we'll get a 4K remaster, or maybe the full IMAX spread of the 16:9, like, full IMAX format of this video eventually. Maybe we'll get to see that on, like, the Blu-ray copy. Maybe we'll get, like, a 4K option. But for now, this is all we can see. So this next bit, I'm not actually sure what that is. Am I recording? I just had to check, because if I wasn't, I would probably shoot myself in the head. So that's maybe like, what is that? I really have no idea. Again, hopefully the Blu-ray will help us when that comes out, but it's hard to say. Now, next to this, so this is clearly like a little stand for coffee pods. There's a pink one. These ones look brown, and then like those are maybe brown and blue or gray. Maybe it's a gray color. It's hard to tell. Again, 4K remaster. We'll figure it out, but that's not until April. But for now, we know there are coffee pods. They probably very likely put in this coffee machine right here, considering it's also in the kitchen. They might have a separate one in a separate room that they might be putting them into, but I kind of doubt that. Okay, now we get to the chair. Now I find this leather. Ooh, look at the stitching, the stitch job on this chair. I really enjoyed this rectangular corner piece here. I really enjoy how this was done, and look at the nice little bevel. Very high quality chair, very nice leather. I'm assuming this is a stool at a bar, because it looks like Void is sitting in a very similar chair. Yet, if you look closely, it looks like we have the same corner stitch. Very interesting stuff. Again, I'm gonna put Void's cash up on screen if you want to ask for money to buy one of these chairs. Okay, before we get up top, before we get to the plates and their significance, let's look at the actual table here. We see there's like these table mats, which look very nice. Very nice. Shout out to Void's mom for picking these out, because they do look very fancy and nice. I do like them. I'm seeing like they kind of tuck up at the corners, which is pretty standard for table mats like this. They usually kind of fold up at the ends. That's all right. Personally, I'd put like a weight, like maybe a book or like a part of a dumbbell on it, like one of those little weights or something. Just something like that would weigh it down and maybe flatten it out a little bit, but that would just be me. But you see that we have two, one for each chair. And now what's interesting is that we could very well have more chairs on the other side. It looks like there's only two right here. I'm presuming there's not a third, because if you look very closely, the lighting here indicates that there is a window right here, and you can actually see part of the drapes to that window. So I'm assuming there's a window right here. Perhaps Void crawled in through the window to begin filming the video, but I digress, because there's also a little doorway right here that he could have entered through. This potentially leads to the living room, I would assume, or perhaps a dining room. But either way, here's Voidatron's Cash App in case you do want to request money. Now we go from the bottom, and we're gonna skip the sandwich for now. We're gonna come back to this, but let's go all the way up to the top. Now, we look up at the roof and we see these two lights, these two fluorescent lights. Now, what I find interesting is that this one comes out yellow on camera and this one comes out white. Now, what could this mean? Was this a thematic choice by Voidatron to show the difference in the... Okay, you know what I find interesting? Hold on. We have two different hands, two opposing hands, one tightly clenched, one held open. And we look at the light compared to that. There's a warmth. There's a warmth. A warm light with the warmth of the clenched hand. The blood's flowing. There's a hard clench going. He's clenching for that sandwich. And you come over here, and the light is brighter and more, I guess you could call it a cooler light, because it's just a straight kind of white LED look. And you look down at the hand, and it's cooler. Blood's not flowing as much, just open, just ready for anything, man. This is a chill ass hand. This is a chill ass light. It shows you, why they canceled the Oscars, why they canceled the Emmys, because Voidatron has it all figured out. He thought of every single detail in this, and it's just so impressive. Just to see, it's very impressive stuff. Okay, let's go down a little bit. Let's look at these plates. There's some very fancy trinkets up here. 3 of these are plates. 2 of these look like some kind of vases, looks like. Now this one, we see kind of a half, like, there's like a line and a cross kind of through here. There's this big section that looks kind of like flower designed almost, kind of like a floral pattern. And then you look right here. You look right here, and there's kind of like some kind of hoops or something. Is that like Clippy? Is that like Clippy, the Microsoft little guy that you could get? That kind of looks like Clippy. I'm pretty sure that's Clippy. And that's interesting because this is actually Voidatron's Cash App. You look like up at this part, and it's very dark. It's a very like thick pattern. It's taking up a lot of space in the low amount of pixels pre-restoration 4K release that we can see. It's very tough to tell what that is, but hopefully when it comes out on streaming or digital, that we can check that out. But we go to this next plate, and this looks to be like a tea kettle. It's got the handle. Here's my handle. Here's my spout. I'm a little teapot, short and stout and such. Kind of like Void is short. Sorry, Void. Um, but yeah, it's. I'm just laughing. Now you look at how it comes up. There's clearly some kind of pattern around it forming, but it's again hard to tell. We're gonna have to come back to this stuff for sure. But it's kind of interesting to think of the teapot like symbolically as like such an open top, such an open free mind that lets the scent and the liquid flow out of it, and such a secure handle. Again, you almost compare it to the hands. Secure, tight, reliable handle as opposed to the open freeness of the top of the teapot that like releases the tea. I can't tell if this is part of like the woodwork on the cabinets, which we will get to the cabinets, don't worry. But there's like a box. There's a box. And I'm not sure if that's a box that someone put up there or if it's part of the woodwork, because it does kind of match, but it's also a little different. Can't tell if that's the lighting or if that's more, because there's nothing really else at this height in the shot to compare it to besides these, but these are clearly different. But when you look at this, it's sort of I'm not sure, it's a very interesting mystery. It doesn't really seem like it has any imperfections or like openings or like markings of any kind, so I'm assuming it's part of the woodwork. But what could that be for, I wonder? It's very interesting. We'll have to think on that. Leave your comment below what you think is in this strange little wooden boxed area. Maybe gnomes, maybe house gnomes for cleaning live in there. Maybe a goblin lives in there. Maybe an elf lives in there. Maybe one of Santa's elves lives in there. This is like a little vase, it looks like. And it looks like there's like a big arch. There's some sort of scene happening in there. It almost looks like there's a little guy in like the sky. It's very strange. There's like a receding wall here that kind of leads you in this way. You see what I'm talking about? There's a small little man stuck in Voidatron's vase, and you need to go free him, Void. Void, I need you to go record a video of you taking this vase and shattering it to free the little man inside. Also, here's his cash. Now, you look over here. This is another plate, but we just really cannot see enough of this one quite yet. Once we get the 4K re-release, or perhaps like a house tour, the Voidatron house tour, perhaps, we'll get to see what this is finally. Maybe there's another flower on there. It kind of like pokes out, but it's hard to say. We can't really say a lot about this one just yet. But we come over here, and I like this vase. I'm assuming this is a vase because of how the top kind of curves like that. It looks like something would go in there. But to me, if you really zoom in on this, it kind of looks like this is a little mouth, and that's a little eyeball. See what I'm poking right there? It's a little eyeball, and this is a little mouth. Looks like a little carrot. It looks like a little fish or something. Like, what's going... Is that a fish? Look at that. Wait, and then this part like goes up like this. Is that the fish's like head? I think there's a living real fish in Voidatron's house. He needs water, dude. Fish need water. You need to get him in a tank. I don't know if he's saltwater or freshwater, but he needs to have water, man. So this is kind of fucked up on Voidatron's part. Might need to cancel him. Might need to split up the filgs forever because of this. But maybe he can redeem himself on that. Okay, now. I'm deciding, should we do the cabinets down here or the cabinets up here? I guess we'll start up here and then go down to those, and then we'll start the video after that, maybe. But we look at the cabinets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 overall right here. And so there could be a lot of things in these cabinets. We're talking cups, we're talking plates, we're talking bowls. Probably not utensils. Those will usually go down here in the little drawers. And so we have 2 more cabinets down here actually. Then there's 4 drawers, presumably more hidden behind the hand. Looks to be another cabinet that opens up sideways because I'm not seeing a handle to pull it outward, but it's probably lower. This is probably more of a cabinet. And then this metal thing here, excuse me, this metal thing right here, I'm assuming this is a dishwasher. Unclear what the load bearing capacity is on this thing. Unclear what model this is or what company, but hopefully we can figure this out. Everyone comment and ask Void what kind of dishwasher he has. I'm assuming maybe the sink is behind this chair as well. You can kind of see like a difference in the ground level there. I'm assuming this might be where the sink is. That would just make the most sense because I'm not seeing it anywhere else, unless it might be under the microwave, but I'm not sure about that. It could be. There's a whole area back here. We can't even see the full microwave, let alone what's underneath it. There could be so many hidden treasures. There could be so many things back there. There could be an elf. There could be a goblin. There could be like some little guys, some little house gnomes to clean the house. There could be a lot of things. Now, okay. Now let's focus on the sandwich. we're looking, what could this be? So we have what looks to be white bread. It's kind of loafing up, so you can tell there's a lot of stuff going on in the sandwich. It's a little bit wavy, you see? It's not quite level, and that's okay. You like a wavy sandwich, you feel me? But you look at the plate. This is a paper plate. Looks like the Walmart, like, Great Value brand. No shame in that. I personally have gold-plated plates that I throw away after one use because I'm so rich. But, you know, if you want to pretend to be peasant, you can use paper plates if you really want to. But we look at the sandwich here, and we will play the video, but just for right now, look at this fluid. Is this mustard? I believe this is mustard, or perhaps cheese, perhaps a thick cheese. But we will get to that. But you look at Void's eyes, and he doesn't even look like he wants to eat the sandwich. I think he's scared of the sandwich. I think he might know what's coming. I think he might know that once he bites into the sandwich, doom befalls upon him. I think he might know. Because look in those eyes. What did I say before? You see the end. And I'm not talking Minecraft. I'm talking end of his life. I'm talking he's never going to see the new Smurfs movie with Rihanna. He really wants to see that movie. He's really excited. He loves Rihanna and Smurfs. Smurfs are probably Void's favorite thing. He compares to their height. It might be time to start the video, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we should linger on this more, if we should get started, because, like, I feel like we should hit the play button, but there's so many buttons. We could watch How to Get a Cheap Motorcycle. Let's check the volume. I think we want it about here. Now, if we look, this is an 11-second video. What does 11 seconds tell you? Could have been 10 seconds, but he takes that extra step. What does that tell you about Voidatron? It tells you he's a hard fucking worker. It tells you he's a hard fucking worker, and that it's 11 seconds long. That's how long the video is. Autoplay is off, because this is all we need. You don't need to watch another video, right? No closed captions available. Voidatron hates deaf people. Voidatron wants deaf people to get blown up in a car crash. Settings, we have up to 1080p HD quality. You can't, I did not mean to scroll. You can go for 720p or 360 or 144. Let's actually take a look. Now, this is pretty cool. Now, there's ambient mode, which we can enable. I'm not really sure what that does at all. I really have no idea. Stable volume we can enable because, again, Voidatron hates the hard of hearing. He hates deaf people. He doesn't want people to hear his video. He just doesn't really like deaf people at all. Playback speed, we have a lot of options here. There's actually a bar to choose if you don't want to pick manually. I was not aware of this until just this moment, actually. But you can pick 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2 times speed if you're really feeling crazy, really wanted to watch Alvin and the Void Monks. You can go 0.75, 0.5, 0.25. We could play it on my TV. Not going to go for that this time because this would probably link to my TV in my living room, and my family is sleeping. Watch later. Yeah, I think I will add it. I think I will watch this later. Yeah, I think I will. Share? Yeah, I think I will share. Not through this, though. What the fuck? WhatsApp. Gmail. Yeah, let me Gmail someone this video. Now, excuse me. We've waited long enough. Now that we fully have an understanding of the environment, I think it's time to finally start this video. Now, I want to pause. I want to quickly pause, and I want to go back. Now, there's a very interesting directing choice on display here. I want to play this again. If you watch closely, it seems like the first 3 seconds of this video are the identical frame. Now, this is what I'm talking about. You think I'm a fool. You think I'm foolish for dissecting the entire background, yet he lets us drink it in for an entire 3 seconds of the runtime. Now, we take this, and let's go back a few frames here. Fully still until suddenly he is not. Now, could this be a representation again of his cold figure and his cold emotion towards the sandwich and his fear of death, his fear of the end, the fear of what's next? Could it relate to that? Could it be a sign of the passage of time and how things feel like they're moving so slow at the beginning, yet as you go further, they speed up? And I want to bring that up because you look and he picks up the sandwich, and look at the way he picks up the sandwich. Now, I want to be clear here. Look at the thumb placement on the sandwich. Now, this could mean a lot of things. Going forward, because he's grabbing the sandwich from the undersides. He's really going to grip the shit out of the sandwich. He's making sure He grabs this bad boy. He's going to get this bite. The sandwich is not slipping out of his hands. The sandwich is not falling on the ground or back on the plate or on the table. This is staying in his hands. And what's so important about this is thumbs. He could push little circles into the sandwich with his thumbs. And I think, it's really important to think about these things when we're looking at this video. We look at how look at this part. Look at Void's eyes. Again, very scary. I'm scared and I don't like it. Look at his ear. What's going on with that little line right there? Much to think about. Now, you look at the way he's grabbing the finger. He's really gripping the undercarriage of this crust with his finger. This sandwich is not moving a fucking muscle. And on further inspection, look at how he so beautifully, delicately brings up the sandwich to show us. Now, we look at this Sammy here, this big sandwich, and you see the white bread beneath. So that does confirm that both slices are white bread, for one. And we look at this. Is this egg? This is an egg sandwich? Is that cheese? Is that some kind of interesting meat? So look at these parts. What's up with that? Excuse me. But you look closely, and Voidatron has a lot of arm hair, and I really like that. I think that's... Now, okay, at this point, we can't even hit the play button. We're just going to have to frame by frame this bad boy. So let's really go here. Just look at how locked in he is. Look at how ready to fucking go Voidatron is. And you look as he picks this up, and he blinks, and he stares directly at you at the camera. And he looks at you, and he is so ready to eat the sandwich. Look at the movement on the sandwich in these few frames. Look, he goes from here. Man, I'm stuffed up right now. I'm sorry. Okay. Look at the movement on the sandwich right here. He goes from this position, and in one frame, okay, that's pretty big movement already. Next frame, whoa. This is getting serious. The plate is coming back down, bro. The plate came up a little bit. It's coming back down now. You look at the sandwich. It is coming up. He is gripping the bottom of the sandwich. He's gripping the top of the sandwich with his thumb. The other hand, okay. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Remember what I said about the hands? Look at his right hand gripping that sandwich. Left hand, ready for anything. That's the backup. In case something goes wrong, that left hand is ready to go. But nonetheless, it is there alongside the sandwich, nonetheless. And look, just like I said, look at how quick the movement is here. Look at that super fast reflex. Yet, again, you look at the eyes between these two frames, and in these three frames even, and nothing changes. Nothing changes. He's on a mission. He has no other directive than to eat the sandwich or die. But little does he know that this one will seal his fate. Now let's see here. Look at that movement, man. Unbelievable movement. Again, crazy amount of movement. And if we watch closely as this part plays, remember how before I said he's representing the passage of time, how at the beginning it feels slow, but then the further you go on, things just fly by. This is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of how I wasted my high school experience and didn't talk to anybody and wasn't social enough. Let's continue the video. Now, I need to go back here because we've missed so much. There's so much that happens in this small part, just like there was so much in high school that I had missed. Let's continue. Pick up that sandwich, boy. Pick that sandwich up. Yeah. Oh, I like when you pick that sandwich up. Okay. Now we look closely as he picks up the sandwich. Oh, wow. Let's kind of... Look at how quickly this thing is moving. And that left hand finally on board. Took some time, but he made it. Now Void... Look at how Voidatron rises through the frame. Like an eagle taking flight. Like a blue jay singing its favorite song in the crisp morning air. Look at this. Look at this part. I love this part. Look at the chair. Now you can see more of the chair, and you can see the clear stitch line. You can see the clear color difference. But just look at how he rises. It's really beautiful. And look how he goes. Look how if you play this part like a little gif, he looks like he's going, nom. You see how it looks like he's eating the sandwich? I think it really rewards viewers who take the time to analyze it like I am, because you really understand how important this is, how much this matters to our country right now. he just keeps getting higher, man. You really love to see it. Like he's just It looks like he's growing in height. It's kind of like he's like a shape. Is he a shape? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This is really important. This could mean a lot. Baldur's Gate 3. There's a group of ours in Baldur's Gate 3 known as the Hand. Ulysses Finger, Joe O'Gruel, Mike Hundo, and last but certainly not least, Concrete, the shape-shifting little character. Now, the thing about Concrete, you can turn into animals and understand animals. Notice how perhaps he took inspiration from real life as he is a shapeshifter, as he grows, looks like a foot right in front of us. Look at how he manipulates his size of his body. Even his arms seem to extend. His neck seems to extend greatly. Torso expands. You can see the weight shift in his body as his body expands and grows. And you go a little further and you see that he actually shrinks a little bit to not break the illusion that he is a mortal man. It actually goes back down a little bit. But Voidatron is a shapeshifter. This is his cash app on screen right now. So he begins to close his eyes. But before we get to that, I want you to look closely at what we can now see on the fridge over here. If you look closely, there's some sort of... See, here's the chair, but then there's this little wooden area. And I thought it would just be straight fridge here. But I'm greatly mistaken, because what is going on right here, I wonder? Is this... Because the fridge took up much more space. Is this something in front of the fridge? What could this be? And this is clearly part of the fridge handle, I want to believe, right here. But I have no idea what's going on with this bottom here. But let's continue. We look closer, and look as he opens his mouth. He shrinks a little. He grew a little in size because he's a shapeshifter and he was excited, but he had to shrink back down to, not get people too suspicious. And look at how he opens his cute little mouth. You can see his dimples expand. You can see the jaw expansion. The sandwich goes into his mouth. And before we even get to the bite, before we even get to the main attraction here, I want to just look at the way this little thing folds up. That's pretty funny, and I like how this one kind of rolls into like a little circle. Like if you were a little guy, like an ant, you could crawl through that like a tunnel. And I think that's, this is how Voidatron rewards the fans for really taking the time to analyze these videos. And you look, dimples expanding, eyes shutting. He almost looks like what's the painting? So it almost reminds me of Saturn devouring his son. I knew what this painting was called. I didn't forget. But you look at the eyes, the eyes, and there's like a primal hunger. It's like, you can tell this is a different one, but you can see that like there's this thing in the eyes where it looks like there's no humanity left. It looks like an animal. It looks like a lion eating a gazelle. And you look at Void's eyes, you see the exact same thing. You see something identical. You see an animal's animalistic, violent tendencies taking over and controlling all of their motor functions. We are in devour mode. We were in predator mode. Voidatron is a predator. Now let's look at the bite. Let's get on the bite here. Now look as he clenches his jaw. Imagine this is your head and you're getting killed. Look at the eyes. There's no humanity left in those eyes. That is pure hunger. That is pure consumption. And you just look and yummy. That's what the eyes are telling me. We're about halfway through the video. Not even quite, but we're almost halfway through. And I just want to reflect on how important this video is and what this video has done for all of us. Let's just go to the comments. Let's just look. There's so much more here to look at. 40 views in 10 hours. That's impressive. That's like 4 views an hour if you think about it. Who will win? Now I won't spoil it for you guys, but I have bad news for Voidatron. Let's just say that. 8 comments. How many comments did the movie Citizen Kane get? Oh, 0. It got 0 comments. Oh, that's actually very interesting. Makes you wonder a little bit. Now, we have a lot of people here. There's my comment, which I don't want to go over. I am a phenomenal writer, but, we don't need to focus on that. Ethan summing it up perfectly. Sandwich fought back. I wholeheartedly agree. This is why we can't eat sandwiches. I agree. I just accidentally clicked on the video, so I don't know what just happened. But anyways, let's go back. This is why we can't eat sandwiches. I agree. This is biting political commentary on how you can't eat a sandwich anymore without it costing a lot of money because of inflation and such. Need to watch your freaking back. Now, it's unclear if Void is expanding upon Page's thought or threatening Page with violence. Page goes on to say, for real, because I'm eating a sandwich right now. And then Void says, watch out. And I find that interesting because, again, this could be relating to the sandwich, or this could just be a threat on Page's life. He could be saying, watch out, I'm coming for you. This could be, it's scary out there. We don't know what this guy can do. He has a lot of power over the country right now. Now let's get back to where we were. Let's go back. Let's look a little more at this bite. I'm going to play that one more time, just so we can really take that in. Forgot about we're going to play that one more time, just so you can really indulge in it. Let's get that one more time. This time, just to make sure we all really drink it in, we're going to put it at half speed. Okay. Now we're going to put it at 2.5 or 0.25 speed real quick. Okay. What a bite. You see so many people bite into food, but there's such an aura to this. Like I said before, a very carnivoristic, like animalistic aura to this bite. And you watch as he chews, and you kind of look at how he looks out the window. You know what I said before about Voidatron being afraid to die after eating the sandwich? Like, he knows his fate is coming upon him. He looks out the window, and he's looking outside at the blue sky and the green grass for one last time. And he's looking out there, and he's thinking, is this the end? And he's right, it is. He's going to die. But he doesn't know that yet. He's in this moment of, am I ever going to walk on that grass again? Am I ever going to look up into that blue sky again after this? Am I ever going to see my family, see my friends? And he doesn't know. And that's the thing. We have no idea what he's seeing. There could be a gnome, there could be a goblin, there could be like an elf outside. He looks over, and I think you can see his eyes dilate a little bit there. Look at that closely. See how his eyes... Notice how they, like, divulge a little bit? I think he saw something he wasn't meant to. Now, what that could be, hard to say. Could it be an elf? I'm not going to keep doing that bit. But I think his eyes really do dilate there, just a little bit. I'm not sure what that could be. Now, he looks over, and I want to pause before I want to pause before the big impact, and let's watch the whole thing one more time up till now, and let's see again the dead eyes. Let's just one more time. Let's go on this journey one more time before the big impact. Let's take everything in one last time, real quick. And this next part's a little hard to watch. I actually cried the first 18 times I watched this. Sobbed, really. The next few times I only really like shed a single tear, but by like the 35th watch I was good. But it's just still very heartbreaking. It's very sad. It's hard to watch something like this happen to my buddy Voidatron. I thought it was real. I actually called his mom, and I was screaming as loud as possible on the phone. I was screaming really loud at his mom on the phone, asking him if he was alive, and he was, luckily. And she did get very upset that I did that, but I was afraid. I was it's kind of like War of the Worlds, how it was so convincing to the public that everyone believed it was like real and that aliens were invading the US. That's kind of like what happened to me with this video. I was so convinced and terrified and afraid and paranoid about this that I actually did curl up in the fetal position on my floor and cry for about an hour the first time I watched this. Got crushed by a boulder. We look at this part. Let's watch it a few times. Let's watch it one more time. Let's watch it one more time. Now, we look at this part. We look at this part with the boulder. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. For one, I just wanna give the credit to the visual effects artist who worked on this, because, wow, you see movies like Avengers: Infinity War and like the new Avatar, and that weird like singing monkey movie, and you just see how like far technology has advanced and how phenomenal all the CGI looks and how realistic it looks, how beautiful and like real these things can look through the power of computer effects. But then something like Sandwich Fights Back comes along, and you realize that what we thought was the limit was so far behind from where we actually are. And you look at this and you realize Marvel's going out of business. All of Disney is going out of business. They're never going to make any more Avatar movies or any more Spider-Man or Avengers or any of the Disney movies. They're all going away, because you see something like this, and how do you not shut down the company immediately? How do you not shut down Warner Bros. Or 20th Century Fox? I guess that's also Disney now, because everything's Disney. How do you not shut down Tubi? I saw this, and after I was done crying in the fetal position thinking he was real, once I realized this was an effect and how impressive that was, you know, I look at the cataclysm that it brings. All the cracks, all the debris. This is all hitting the fridge. This is all hitting the microwave and the plates. And even the coffee maker and the toaster. And the bag that we don't know what's in the bag. Is there a robot head in the bag? Is there a robot head in the lunchbox? Is the robot head going to be okay? Look at this. And god damn it. You look, and it's just so, let's think about this thematically for a minute. Let's think about the fact that, Voidatron, at the start of this video, let's go back to the very beginning of this video, in fact. Let's look at his eyes. Now, this has been a big theme this whole video. The eyes. What is he thinking? What does he want? Has he killed? Will he kill again? Voidatron is tired. Voidatron is old and withered. He's basically on his deathbed, really. Because he's like, what, 25? It's over, dude. Bye. Who? What? But, you get to that point in your life, that old, crippled age, and you start you start to look at things differently. You start to consider the fact that maybe things are futile. Maybe things are not endless. Maybe things aren't forever. And every sandwich you take a bite out of, you realize it has an impact on you. You realize it matters. You realize that this sandwich, it could fight back. And what if I'm not strong enough to fight this sandwich? Let's watch the entire video again. This is a funny video. I like this video. One thing I noticed this time, look at how, okay, if you just play this video, if you hit play and then don't move your mouse at all, watch while it freezes. It stops freezing the moment the timeline and everything goes away from you being idle. Which I think, like, not even doing a bit, that's, like, pretty cool. It just goes away the moment the taskbar goes away. It's like you miss, none of the video is interrupted by the outside. Void wanted you to really focus. He paused and he said, no, let's wait. Let's wait for the distractions to vanish before you really dive into this. And I think that's very commendable. I didn't even drink, I drank water and I'm burping like this. You can see that the very last thing he saw was the outside. And perhaps he was happy before this part happens. And he gets obliterated by this fucking giant boulder. I know I've been hyping this, video up as the best thing ever. But, in doing this big analysis, the boulder is so funny. Let's just actually, watch the boulder real quick. The sound it makes is really good. The effect is just really funny. It's not an explosion or something overused. It's a giant boulder. And I've seen this boulder before. I've seen this exact green screen. There was an app I had when I was a kid, and it was called, make your own movie special effects or some shit. And it had this boulder. And I've used this boulder. One time I crushed a young, probably, prepubescent Ethan with this exact boulder effect. He was obliterated. It's kind of, this video is almost too good, you know, because it shut down Hollywood, it shut down television and film and everything. And, you know, it started in America. I'm sure it's going to hit the other countries next. All their film industries and their television industries are going to collapse because they're going to find this video. Even video games, most things, you just don't need anymore because you can watch this. And so, like, my thing is, you know, what's going to happen to us because of this? What, you know, we're at a point where entertainment outside of Sandwich Fights Back has become obsolete, and I have no problem with just watching this over and over for the rest of my life. But what about the people who are impacted by losing their jobs? You know, people like Willem Dafoe and like J.K. Simmons, you know, actors. There's no other important job than being an actor, to be clear. So no one else matters. But all these poor, rich actors are going to be out of work. And that's really sad because they're so rich and white and they have such big houses. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to say thank you, Voidatron, for making this. Thank you for uploading this and publishing it. Thank you for titling it. Thank you for putting tags on it. Thank you for putting thank you for replying to the comments. Thank you for making it. Thank you for making the video. You know, what's really sad, I think the saddest part of all this, you know, kind of unnecessary evil, if you could call it that, I think what's messed up is that Filg February is unfortunately canceled. This will be the last Filg February video because for none of these are all garbage compared to this. And so, like, you look at Sandwich Fights Back and it's like kind of is so great that it ruined everything, you know? It's like we're gonna have to delete all of these videos, and we're not gonna be allowed to have any more videos after this. And as you can see, it's already rising. It's about to beat out all of these in views. This is very quickly rising. This could be the #1 video on YouTube. This could get up to 200 views, which a video has never gotten. This is actually the most popular video on YouTube, and it only has 159. So, you know, sorry that there's not going to be any more Filgs February. Blame it on Void. It's all his fault. But, you know, maybe he'll send you money on Cash App if he feels bad. So here is Void's Cash. I guess this will be my final time talking to you guys because we're not making any more videos. So thank you guys for being our fans, all 24 of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting and liking and subscribing. I'm really proud of what we did, but unfortunately, we've peaked. This video sucks, this one sucks, this one sucks, this one sucks. All of these videos stink in comparison, like poo-poo, like pee-pee, like doo-doo, caca, feces, compared to Sandwich Fights Back. You go to oldest, and now it's up there. Did you notice that? Did you notice the sandwich on the cover is different from in the video? Notice how it is a different bread. This is like a burger-style bun kind of deal. It's like a bun. This is like a loaf of bread sandwich slice, you know, like a slice of a loaf of bread. And you notice that the meat is totally different than in the video. It's all different. It's all wrong. Notice Bingo on the cover looks disgusted at the yucky sandwich. This looks like an Arby's sandwich. If I look up, I fucking knew it, dude. It's the exact same sandwich. Now, see, this could be false advertising. This could be a big deal. This burger looks alive and like it has a tongue.